12 minutes past 7. Ordinarily, I'd wake up at 4:30, so it means that I've lost close to 3 hours. And I wanted to to you about this in relation to something that Benjamin Hardy talks about in one of his books. Amazing author, do read him, but he talks about this concept of daytime guy versus nighttime guy. So we all will experience this continuously throughout our lives, and it's a really, really powerful concept to think about the person you are when you're in the day and the person you are at night. So daytime Deepak is constantly trying to be sabotaged and undermined by nighttime Deepak. So what happened yesterday is that for whatever reason, it got to 9:15, I decided to go on a 3 hour binge of YouTube doom scrolling, bouncing between different subscription channels, Prime, Disney, Apple, Netflix, and I found myself at 12:15, still awake. And as a consequence, I woke up several hours later and I gained no value in the evening simply because wanted to reward myself for the rigors of the day. And then as a consequence, I've lost 2 hours, 45 minutes in the morning. And it reminded me of what Benjamin Hardy talks about when it comes to the concept of daytime guy versus nighttime guy. And I think that this is an incredible concept that if you're not familiar with, then it's really powerful and useful to get familiar with because it will help you in those moments when you find yourself being corrupted for the most banal and inane reasons. And then that's how it sneaks up on you. So you're nighttime guy, so nighttime Deepak is continuously trying to sabotage daytime Deepak in ways that he cannot expect. And it's an incredible concept. And I really want, if you're watching, you to consider how useful this is when thinking about the ways that you manage your evenings and the impact it can have on your days. And when ultimately the clock hits whatever time in the end of the day that you decide to wrap up, whether it's 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 10, whatever time it is, to consider the cognitive switch that we make to, okay, I'm off the clock. And suddenly, sometimes your discipline can disappear. It's exactly what happened to me yesterday, and I'm frustrated with it. And that's what inspired me to a degree to make this video that I wanted to share with you today to heighten your sense of awareness when it comes to the nighttime version of you versus the daytime version of you. And yesterday, because I've done my best to stop watching TV, it's been a week. I actually started watching a Star Wars series on Disney, one of the derivative TV shows. I started watching fight sequences from some of my favorite movies, and all kinds of nonsense in a bid to reward my dopamine center because perhaps I felt I was deserving and that I had been deprived. And as a consequence, I just frankly set myself back. I set up my evening for time wasting to set up my daytime for a total waste for morning. And you're going to experience this. And what you need to be mindful of is to have mechanisms to support yourself in those moments, because otherwise you're going to experience the type of sabotage that I just experienced this morning. And it seems perhaps inane, but the consequence of continuously being prey to nighttime guy is that you can lose hours and hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes of actual productive time went up in smoke. I have woken up now. I feel more tired and I feel irritable. And these are the kinds of things that make the difference. Honestly, they are. And if you're not being cognizant and mindful of ultimately the nighttime version of you, then the nighttime version of you is, without you realizing, going to sabotage the daytime version of you. And it's something that you want to and need to be incredibly mindful of as you progress through your journey, because nighttime Deepak is always there. He never leaves. It's just how much I can keep him under wraps, how much I can keep him subdued, and much of it relates to the level of discipline that daytime Deepak has in his life. So daytime Deepak just becomes one Deepak and you live your life to a certain standard. And in those moments where nighttime Deepak is able to overcome daytime Deepak and gets his rewards, and nighttime Deepak is feeling pretty damn good right now, then you need to have mechanisms to discipline yourself, to remind yourself that there's a better way, that this isn't the path to success, that you won't succeed in the things that you want to do if you stay victim to nighttime Deepak. So, first of all, it's about recognizing that there's a nighttime version of you. And that's what I realized this morning when I woke up and I thought, oh my God, he's come back again with a vengeance. Because also there was no reason to stay up yesterday, apart from nighttime Deepak wanting to have his moment in the spotlight, to completely waste daytime Deepak's time on nonsense. And the less that you are cognizant of this, the less that you build in mechanisms to stop your nighttime version from running riot, the more problems you're going to face. Because the challenge is in those moments where typically I'd go to bed between 9:30 and 10. The challenge is, and Daniela, my wife, she went away on holidays yesterday, so she was in Mykonos, and nighttime Deepak had more strength and gusto added to his fundamentally way of being. The challenge is that it's so easy to slip into the nighttime version of yourself. And when you do, you can find yourself lost and totally removed from the goals, especially, and this is the challenge that happens. It's about all of the things that you do in private that you hide from the public version of you that can often prevent you from being successful. So I will produce content, and now I see the inconsistency with the things that I say in this aspect because I've not had the discipline to wake up early. I've not had the fortitude to go to bed early and then to have the discipline to wake up on time. I failed myself. And I want to use this as a bit of a flagpole to remind myself that, hey, you can do better. You deserve better. You're worthy of better. You're capable of better. So if you are, and there's going to be different aspects that come out for you, whether it's reaching for the cookie jar, whether it's watching the movies as I attempted to yesterday, whatever manifestation of the nighttime version of you that's out to corrupt the daytime version of you, have mechanisms to support yourself. Try and resist the urge, resist the temptations. And nighttime goes so powerful, keep this in mind, that you need strong mechanisms because your willpower and your energy is depleted. That's when nighttime guys are awake. That's when nighttime guys up. That's when nighttime guys ready to party because all of your energy has been put into the strength of the day. All of your willpower has gone into the rhythm of the day, which means that you need to ensure that you've got mechanisms to support you as you enter the night. Yesterday marked the seventh day of me because it was last week Tuesday, so rather Tuesday to Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I went 1 week without watching anything outside of Daniela being outside of watching content with Daniela. And that was one of the things that I was trying to optimize for as I've begun this journey to not watch any TV that was and yesterday marked day number 8, and clearly I failed. The urge to watch something came upon me because the rule was is that if Daniela's not around, then don't if Daniela's not around, then don't watch TV. Daniela was away yesterday, which meant I watched no TV, and therein lied the challenge because I hadn't set a mechanism up for myself to ensure that I kept away from the television. So look, your daytime guy is always going to be corrupted by your nighttime guy. Be mindful that there's a nighttime guy. Set up mechanisms to support you, friends, family, structures, rearranging things within your household to ensure that as much as you can, you keep nighttime guy under wraps because otherwise you'll wake up one morning and discover that you wasted the day because nighttime guy was up partying, doing whatever he does to sabotage the days that lie ahead.